All right, got my second video here. We got a banger to react to, so let's get right into it. All right, this is how women and society manipulate men.
Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk about how women use emotions to manipulate men, because this is a very important subject. This is the heart of how men are conditioned by women and society. It is by placing women's emotions and people's feelings, their subjective feelings, as the primary deciding factor in their relationships and how to move forward in life. And this is a break from the past. You know, in the past, we used to be strong. We used to be tough. We didn't care about how a person felt about something. How do you feel about building the Hoover Dam?
Okay, so I think it's not always beneficial to run off of pure logic. I personally consider myself a logical being myself, but you know, I think it's not that hard to see the importance in how, immoral things like, you know, demonetizing your kids because you can't feed them is emotionally wrong on many levels. But, where logically at a time like that, you may be seeing how I can't feed them, they're going to have a horrible life in the system. So this is the best thing for them. But, that's something that evolutionarily we don't need anymore because we do have systems that can help them.
It's like, we don't care. How do you feel about going to the moon? We don't care.
I think that, conservatively in the past, it may have been more beneficial for men where, because of their biological and physical strength, they were the ones fighting the wars and doing the hunting, and it mostly was a coping mechanism for them to be emotionless, because, they had to be the ones putting a spear through someone's heart and all this stuff. You know, I could see how it was it would be beneficial back then, but nowadays we just don't need to be emotionless anymore. We can be more emotional. Putting your emotions inside is actually, psychologically shown. Many psychologists have studied this and they know that in the end it leads to more hardship in the end than it would if you just dealt with it immediately. Um and I hope that this guy is just broken and coping like the people of the past that were fighting our wars and stuff. Maybe he has some deep emotional scarring that's causing him to think that it's right to be pushing your emotions down. Because if not, he's just simply glorifying senseless narcissistic behavior, and I find that frankly disgusting.
How do you feel about building an atomic bomb or a nuclear power plant? We don't care. We build it anyway. That's the thing. We do these things in spite of our feelings, in spite of their difficulty. How do you feel about being able to perform open heart surgery? Perhaps you feel a little squeamish about it. We don't care. We still do it. So we overcome our feelings. We are not constrained by our feelings. Intellect, logic, reason is, in most cases, an overcoming, a calming, even a.
Okay, so where so he has so I will say this. I will say that first of all, when it comes to nuclear power plants and open heart surgery, completely denying stress and fear, that squeamish emotion he described, that is that is not how you do it. As someone who literally is in a safety class and in a safety sensitive job, I'm training to be an electrician. I can tell you one thing: you do not want to have no fear when working in those dangerous fields. Um, Fear is an important emotion. Not having fear is statistically dangerous. It statistically leads to occupation injuries, and it leads to, because fear, lack of fear rather, leads to complacency, and complacency is what caused, in his example right here with the nuclear power plant, and complacency is what has caused many of the nuclear disasters that we've had throughout the world. So, I mean, frankly, what he's promoting here is dangerous. It's not even just, you know, not emotionally mature. It's frankly literally dangerous. Yeah, just have no fear. Go into everything without any fear. That makes a lot of sense. No, it does not. Now, at the same time, don't let fear control you, because, maybe maybe you want to be a open heart surgery. Maybe you want to be a nuclear factory plant worker, but the fear is telling you not to do it, but you really can do it. Just always remember that fear. Keep that fear in the back of your mind, because fear is what keeps you safe. If you just forget about your fear completely, that's what leads to accidents.
Quelling. Do you hear that? You like the way I use that word? Quelling. See, that's a very popular search term. Like if you go to Google and you type up to quell, it'll just be like, 10 million hits, right? Because it's one of those words. So I'm just joking around with someone. So the ability to put your emotions aside and proceed logically, calmly, rationally, with a goal in mind. This is what makes us human. This is what makes us great. A monkey can scream and get angry
I would argue that that's not true, actually.
at the first drop. It can give in to its emotions and it can use its emotions to drive its behavior. And,
Okay, so this example about the monkey is a perfect example, actually. I would argue that monkeys are, you know, they are not really emotionally driven. I mean, maybe they have some emotion, but they don't have see, the problem is he's confusing the difference between having emotional maturity and emotional depth, and, the emotion of a monkey, which is completely different. And also, obviously monkeys have no logical depth. And then, there's the logical depth of a human intelligence that is way above that of a monkey. So he's comparing, apples and oranges here. You cannot use monkeys as an example here. That's just completely silly. In fact, I would say that's, you know, kind of a, you know, it's kind of a red herring almost. It's not really a good example at all. He's just trying to make something make sense, but it's not. It doesn't make sense really. If you really think about it, and you're not just watching this because you want him to tell you what you want to hear. If you actually think about the things these people say, you'll be like, does that really make sense? Because, a monkey, logically, right? You could put them in a maze, right? And put a big stack of bananas in front of them, and, you know, put you could train a monkey that you know, getting those monkeys hurts them or something like that. And then I can't think of a better example off the top of my head. I should have wrote some notes for this, honestly, but this is a simple. This is not. He really put no thought into that example. Maybe he could have come up with a better one, but that is just completely silly to me. I'm not gonna lie.
it's like this very powerful source of motivation. they're tapping into their primal instincts. Tell me if you've had this experience. I have often felt that I was at a disadvantage in life in dealing with people who were going off of their feelings and their instincts because they had no moral, ethical considerations in what they did, and they were able to use their instincts, their emotions, as, the driving force.
Okay, so that's actually really funny because what this video is about women in society manipulating men. But here we have a man. I'm pretty sure this is, textbook manipulation. He's manipulating his viewers. He's playing off of their emotions right now. He knows damn well that his viewers are, the incel community. He knows damn well that they are the people that were emotionally hurt. Something happened in their life that made them not trust women. And he knows that if he says what he just said here about how he doesn't understand emotions or whatever, and he feels at a disadvantage, he's literally just playing off of his viewers' emotions. So he's doing what he's saying not to do. He's manipulating. He's manipulating your emotions right now. And I think that's very funny, actually.
Behind their behavior. Whereas if I, even though I had feelings and could have used them to drive my behavior, would always abstract it one level and say to myself, how would that make someone else feel? In other words, I want to dominate a particular situation, okay? Or I have this feeling that I want to do it. How would it make
He has this feeling that he wants to do it. Oh, of course. It's only natural, right? Feelings are natural.
that other person feel? And the answer is, it would make them feel like dirt. It would make them feel like they were 2 inches tall. It would make them hate my guts. Therefore, I'm not going to do it.
Okay, so there you go. There's another emotion that is beneficial. Empathy. If you're gonna say something that's meaningless, just to put someone down, don't say it. I think that's the difference between these people is they they kind of are allowing the feminists that they hate so much to thrive. They are the reason why the feminists are thriving. They are being the opposition that the feminists desire. They want conflict, and this guy wants conflict. They are feeding off of each other. They're allowing content for each other's YouTube channels. They're allowing each other to feed off of each other. They are just in an endless cycle of doing stupid stuff and allowing the opposite side to be like, "Oh, look at this stupid thing that this guy did," and then this guy, says, "Oh, well, look at how this person said it, so they're stupid," and then it's just back and forth. They are. This man is essentially being the opposition that they want. If he just decided to take a more, you know, I don't care attitude, instead of being like, "Oh, it's women. Boo-hoo. Women in society are manipulating me. Women in society, it's their fault." If he just completely extracted himself, like all of you people, I'm hoping this video will reach some of this people who are sucked into the Manosphere community. If you just extracted yourself from all that and said, "No, it's not women, and it's a certain type of person that acts this way," but I don't care because I'm just not going to associate with them at all, then you would not have this problem, and eventually the problem would die out. Eventually there would be no conflict between these, extremist manosphere people like Howard Dare here and these extremist feminists like, whoever.
Whereas the other person, they don't even have that consideration. They just go right into it. Who do you think you are? You haven't been here very long.
Don't forget to press that subscribe button, guys.
I'll bet you think you know what you're doing. I've been doing this longer. I'm better at this than you. I have more money than
Oh yeah. Don't forget to turn on notifications. Yep.
you. My job title is more important than yours. And meanwhile, we're talking about working out. So it's like, yeah, and all those things you mentioned have nothing to do with working out. As a matter of fact, relying on those other things too much might actually hinder.
Oh my god. And here he goes being hypocritical. He is talking about someone giving, just going completely off on tangents when him himself is going completely off on tangents. Both of these extremist groups are completely delusional. And, you know, I find it completely baffling that anyone is willing to care about this kind of content. Like, there's no actual logic in it. It's just he's clearly just playing off of his viewers' emotions. That but he frames it in a way that makes him seem logical. He's like, "Oh yeah, I use my big brain to come to this conclusion," when really he's just like, "I hate women. Women are mean." This is completely ridiculous.
Your ability to work out well. It could. So, I also want to apologize. Now, in most instances, people apologize for something that they did, okay? But that's not what this is. I'm apologizing for something that I'm going to do. This is worth taking note of. I'm going to be releasing some more videos soon, and I'm worried that they're going to be somewhat erratic in their titles and subject matter. And the reason why is as I make these videos, I come up with other theories and ideas and avenues of pursuit. And if I don't,
This is really funny because he's doing exactly what I just said. He's essentially he's right now he's making an excuse for not being logical. He's manipulating his viewers into seeming like, "Oh yeah, I'm such a smart man," because of the way he talks. I guess I don't know. He just is like, "Oh yes, I'm not going to actually put any effort into doing any research on the next few videos I make. So I just want to let you all know that so you know because I don't really care enough to put any effort into anything I do." I mean, he's literally just making excuses for making these videos without any actual research solely for the purpose of playing off of his viewers' emotions. Like he's literally just like, I see these titles that will really grab my viewers' attention and make them all riled up. So I'm gonna make them and not care about actually putting any effort into it and doing a little bit of research, especially because I'm pretty sure this stuff is completely batshit insane. And if I did do any research, it would prove me wrong. So I'm not going to do any research at all. And what he's doing right here is it's called something. What is it called again? Let me think. There's a word for it. I think it starts with like M or something, and it's like man manip manipulate. Is that it? That's the word. That's right. Yeah, manipulate. He's manipulating you. You're all being manipulated. You are the monkeys he's talking about. You are being manipulated. You are allowing him to tug at your emotions and give you no proof for any of the things he says.
pursue them, I lose them. Okay, they're temporary, fleeting, conversational subject possibilities. But if I pursue them, then I become somewhat erratic and a lot of content starts getting created. So I just want to apologize, for going down that road up front because I understand that it can be a little confusing and it can be a little overwhelming, right? But from time to time, I think it's the way to go. It's kind of like brainstorming, but with videos. Okay, so there you go. Now, in my previous video, I was talking about a video created by a woman feminist, and what I think it was really obvious that she was doing, and I'm not talking about her anymore. What I think it's obvious that what feminists do is they translate everything or most everything into how it makes.
Okay, here's another emotional manipulation tactic, and that is, or just manipulation tactic, which is generalizing. That's what he's doing here. He's generalizing all feminists. He's saying they all do this, which if you have a little bit of sense and logic, you know that all humans are created differently. They don't all have the same viewpoints. They don't have all have the same drives. And this is just simply not true. It's not all feminists. Now, I can guarantee you from personal experiences that there are definitely feminists who take it too far and have no idea. They have lost the point that they're trying to get across because they just, let their emotions take over. Kind of like a lot of these MGTOW people. They've lost the whole point of their thing. They completely let their emotions take over and say, "Oh, let's just blame the women. It's the women's fault." And the women are like, "Oh, let's just blame the men. The men do this." They go completely crazy emotionally. He's doing exactly what he's saying not to do. He's completely hypocritical. He's generalizing all women, which is a manipulation tactic, which is again what he told you not to do.
Makes them feel. And then they present those feelings to you and understand you can't quantify, you can't verify their feelings, right? Their feelings are just their feelings. So in other words, they can say, "Well, I went to work, there was this new guy."
Actually, you really can, verify emotions. It's called empathy. Being able to put yourself in someone's shoes is a validation of their emotions to you. Now, the problem with these two extremists is they have the exact opposite view. The men think that men should be dominant and all this stuff, and women think that everyone should be equal. And you know, because of these both extremists, they're creating so many problems throughout society. I've had two two encounters with extremist feminists, and because I'm a man, and it's the exact other way around for women. But it's, because you're a man, you won't see men coming up to you being like, "Hey, you need to stop being a crazy feminist. You need to stop being a Karen." You won't see that stuff. You won't see people come up to you like that because you're a man. So it's really hard to put yourself in the shoes of an exact opposite viewpoint because, and especially with genders, because you will never come into the situations that they run into because you're not a woman. It's really hard to put yourself in the shoes of a woman. But if you really try, you can. If you really try super hard to really imagine that you yourself are a woman, if you gain that ability, then it'll make your life so much easier. Having empathy will make your life so much easier. It makes it so much easier to just not care and just go with the flow instead of being the direct opposing force that these extremists want.
Guy, he didn't do anything wrong. I really didn't interact with him or talk to him. He's a white guy. And wow, he made me really uncomfortable a half a mile away at the other building. You gotta fight.
All right, that is really silly. So now he's doing another manipulation tactic. This is the manipulation tactic known as over exaggerating. He is playing up a story that would never happen in real life. Why would anyone be like, "Oh, I never had a conversation with him. I never even saw him, but he just gave me a bad feeling." That he's over exaggerating now to really pull out your emotions to an extreme level. I'm starting to realize that this dude, I think his entire content is just emotional manipulation. And honestly, I see this with a lot of these Manosphere people. They just play off of your emotions and get you to all riled up because of previous experiences you may have had. Um, like you may have only had like one or two of these experiences, but they're like, all women are this way. They make you think it's a huge problem. There's the whole society is acting this way. When really it's such a minute number that it's essentially meaningless. And really you just need to stop, you know, just don't associate with those kinds of people. It's not about all women. It's about those women, these types of women. That's what you should be talking about. This guy, his content is really just mostly emotional manipulation. He's I've seen several examples of being passive aggressive. He's played the victim, even though himself he didn't say it's me, but you're seeing he's implying it was me. Oh, actually, he did at one point when he was talking about um, how whenever he comes into people that use their emotions, that he feels like he can't win or something. So he there you go. He playing the victim. And then of course over exaggerating. And I'm sure I could find many more examples of uh manipulation here. Um, this is the same kind of stuff that like advertisers use to tug at your heartstrings and all this and get you all riled up. He's essentially like manipulating as much as an advertiser would. Like his content, I'm only 6 minutes in, and I've noticed at least five examples of manipulation. So I find that very interesting. And he hasn't pulled up any data. He's just, talking and getting you to feed off of him. So I think that's very interesting. Unfortunately, video is going on for too long now, so I am going to have to end it here. Um, but I would hope that I could do a second part to this video and get and finish this one out. Um, and see some other I'm really interested in these videos that where he literally has just admitted he's not going to do any research. He's not going to try to prove himself right. He's just going to spew crap out there, and whenever someone tries to challenge him in the comments, I'm sure he'll delete it. And then whenever someone is like, "Oh yeah, oh this happens to me, women are so evil," he'll probably upvote it and give it a little heart. So speaking of that, let's check the comments of this real quick. Empathy for women causes you to understand female nature. Once you understand female nature, then you will know why relationships are doomed to fail for most people. What female nature? What is female nature? Can someone explain that to me? There's a nature that all women have that is statistically inaccurate. Um also okay, this dude is completely also I think this is actually I think he's memeing. I don't even think he's serious. Uh the foolery that fellas go through. Oh my god. This is literally just a circle jerk. This comment section is a circle jerk. That's what it is. What the I don't know what that means. I don't understand that. Okay. So clearly these guys are just circle jerking, a lot feeding off of each other's angry, hopeless incel emotions, and they're just gonna keep feeding off of each other. And all I can say for you people that are in this community is break free, man. You know, stop feeding into this crap. You are allowing yourself to be a sheep, essentially. You're allowing yourself to be emotionally manipulated, and I find it completely baffling how anyone could not see right through this and just immediately feel like you're being advertised a lifestyle or something that is completely not beneficial to you at all or anyone really. All right, I'm gonna end it here, and hopefully I'll get a part two out of this at some point. I don't know when. All right, thank you for watching.